Alright, this is Andrew Jolly with Jota Home Inspections. We're here today at 620 South, 9th East in Salt Lake doing a sewer scope. We've got the camera pushed all the way out to what looks like the main line, the city connection. You can see some water running from neighboring properties and a little bit from this line that I've been running. We're going to pull it back now and see what we find. So we are 92 feet out, and that's from a clean out on the side of the house. So there's an access point right outside the main basement entry. So right off the bat, this is called the nose on. This is the connection where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Now that looks good. It drops into the line from above. A lot of times they come in at the bottom, which can be problematic. That one looks good. This is cast iron, and it looks like it was cast iron all the way out. And so cast iron is something that will get very rusty over time. It can get very rough, and that can catch on debris, and that can cause a backup. It's something that'll eventually need to be replaced or get a liner put in. The other issue is that it'll flake over time. That's what it's starting to do now. And when it flakes, it makes the line thinner, and so that's something where it can cause issues down the road as well as the line gets thinner and thinner. That's another reason why it needs to be replaced eventually. You want to avoid using wet wipes. Even if they say flushable, they can get caught on cast iron and cause a backup. You also want to avoid flushing anything down the line that you don't absolutely have to, so no wet wipes, no feminine hygiene products. That looks like another access point somewhere, probably out in the yard. You can see how there's looks like a hole in the top of the line. That's not actually just a hole, that's a clean out. A lot of times they're buried, but they can be located and accessed if needed. Sewer companies will put a locator on their camera or on their cable and then locate it from above and dig it up. So it looks like you have good grade. I'm not seeing any areas that have a significant amount of standing water, which is good. One of the reasons why you would not be able to put a liner is if you had improper grade. There are a couple clean out access points in the house. They had brass caps on them, which will get seized up, and so, you know, if I hadn't been able to find this clean out, I would have looked on the roof, gone through the vent. As a last resort, you can break those caps out, but you have to chisel them out. It's kind of a nuisance, and so you can't access it down the road. It's good that they're there, but for today's purpose, it's not ideal. The only downside of going through the clean out outside is that there's a small part of the line inside that we're not able to see. This clean out outside has a bunch of gravel around it, and so probably as this line has been accessed over time, it's allowed gravel to fall into the line, which is not good. You don't want to have a bunch of sediment in the line, or else that can cause things to catch and back up. I did find a couple main stacks inside the house. There's that gravel. I did find a couple main stacks inside the house, and so I verified by running water in multiple units to make sure that water was accessing this line. I wouldn't want to scope it thinking that all 3 units were going through this when only one of them was, but you definitely had the basement attached to it, and then I went upstairs and verified that the unit on the opposite side of the building is also draining into this line as well. So just to recap, you have cast iron all the way out. It's something that will eventually need to be replaced. Just based on age as it wears out and gets rusty and thin. But it was performing well today. I had proper grade. I didn't see any roots. I didn't see any standing water or offsets, which is good. So I'm going to end this recording now.